It's noon here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and this is CarEdge Live for Tuesday, November 12th, with your hosts, me, Ray, and, well, Zach. What is going on today, handsome, other than that huge investigation of Honda?
Yeah, man. What else is going on today other than 1.4 million vehicles being investigated by NHTSA, the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, over engine issues? Not the first time we've had engine issues from a Japanese automaker, cough, cough, Toyota. We're going to spend some time talking about that. But before we do, Dad, must make everyone aware, CarEdge.com. We are within, a few weeks of our 5-year anniversary working on CarEdge together. My dad and I. My dad spent 43 years selling cars, folks. That's how this started. Was my dad spent 43 years of his, how old are you, 72 now? 73?
73, but no reason for you to know.
43 years out of his 73 years here on Earth selling cars. In the past 5, we've been on YouTube and back at CarEdge.com trying to educate, empower, and inform customers to get a good deal. If we can help you out, folks, check it out, CarEdge.com.
Makes you wonder what the hell I did for the first 30 years of my life.
We've got here from Nicholas. I'm looking for a new truck and I've been using your tools like crazy today. Thank you so much. Love to hear that. Yes, Road King is correct. We started as YAA. Even before that, actually, Your Auto Advocate. Man, oh man, trademarks are a fun thing. All right, Dad, the big story this morning comes from Honda. NHTSA opens a probe, Dad, into 1.4 million.
May I say one thing?
Dad, be careful with the word probe.
Never say probe to a 73-year-old. Never, ever. I don't care if it has anything to do with engines or not. You never say the word probe to a 73-year-old.
There you go, folks. There's your life lesson on this Tuesday, November 12th. Selectively use probe in your sentences. NHTSA, Dad, they're opening an investigation into 1.4 million Honda vehicles over engine issues. What is going on here, Dad? This impacts Hondas and Acuras. And again, it comes on the heels of Toyota. I've got that article queued up right here, Dad. 100,000 Toyotas are getting their engines actually replaced, and Lexi. But Dad, what's going on at Honda? Let's start there.
Well, what is it? A crankshaft issue? I don't know. The connecting rods can disengage, and well, the whole engine can seize up, and then you might need an entire engine. I think there's been 173 reported cases so far. There's been, I think, 1,400 service complaints regarding it. So the potential exists for 1.4 million vehicles that were produced by Honda, either for Honda or Acura, to where there could eventually be a recall on those engines because, well, they just might fail prematurely. And by prematurely, under 200,000 miles, under 100,000 miles, at whatever point, it would be premature.
Yeah, Dad, how do 73-year-olds feel about talking about premature things? Yeah? Nope, not going there. All right, Dad. Nope, let it go. That was bad. That's on me. I'm sorry. All right, so that's 1.4 million engines that are being probed and investigated. The Toyota recall, Dad, we actually have the stats now because Toyota and Honda are the two stalwarts of reliability, build quality, et cetera, et cetera. Yes. Toyota, Dad, has 100,000 vehicles, primarily made up of Toyota Tundras from 2022 and 2023 that are under recall right now. This is no longer an investigation. This is 102,000 2022 and 2023 Toyota Tundra and Lexus LXs, Dad. 102,292 vehicles that they had produced. Obviously a different issue here with Toyota. They had materials debris. You can see it right there. Machining debris, small flakes of metal from the boring and machining of the block heads or other parts were not fully removed before assembly. The debris circulated by the engine oil can cause total engine failure. That's the issue that Toyota is facing. So different than the crankshaft over at Honda. But Dad, the fix here for Toyota is to actually remove the old engine, transfer some of the external components, such as the alternator and air conditioning, air conditioning compressor, and install a new engine, Dad.
Yes.
Each one of these is going to take 13 to 21 hours to complete.
Yes.
So you have Honda with 1.4 million vehicles under investigation, 102,000 vehicles from Toyota, the other great brand for reliability, that are already having their engines replaced. Whoa, man. Like, this is uncommon news. If this was coming out of, sorry to anyone who works at Stellantis, but if this was coming out of Stellantis land, we'd be like, all right, it's another issue. This is Toyota and Honda.
It is indeed. And the Toyota one, I mean, to replace 102,000 engines, we're talking well in excess of $1 billion.
Yeah, they have the estimate. They have the estimate.
Okay, what is it?
It is $300 to $500 million.
I think they're light. Come on,
I think they're light too.
If you say, okay, let's go 13 and 21 is 34. So let's say on average it's 17 hours. And let's say warranty labor rate for Toyota is $150 an hour. It could be a tad high, but I don't know. Take 17 times $150 an hour, and you haven't even started talking about the engine itself yet. Okay, it's going to be in excess of $1 billion. I don't care what anybody says.
This is the automotive news research number you folks are hearing live and unfiltered. The Ray Shefska CarEdge opinion, and I agree. It's going to be more. It's going to be more.
Start doing the math. I mean, how much is an engine?
Yeah,
10 grand. 10 grand installed. What's 10,000 times 102,000? That's $1 billion.
Dad, Artificially Sweet has a great comment here. How can service departments do regular maintenance requests when and all these engines at the same time? There won't be appointments to be had. Imagine if something does come out of this from Honda, Dad. We're not talking about 102,000 vehicles needing engines replaced. We're talking potentially 1.2 million with an M. 1.4 million with an M. Dad, that has an impact not only obviously on Honda and Toyota and the bottom lines there, all the expense they have if there is a recall. Well, Toyota's case, obviously there is a recall. It also has an impact on the dealership and their ability to service customers. Like, you need service done, they gotta line out the door of engines being replaced potentially.
Well, I will tell you this, that service managers at Toyota dealerships are licking their chops because they are going, for the next several months, they are going to be having record revenue months just based on warranty repair for those engines. At Honda, and we're talking with those vehicles, it's the 3.5 liter V6, which is probably one of their most popular engines. You find it in the MDX, you find it in the Pilot. I think maybe the Pastor. I don't know.
The Odyssey, Dad, the TLX,
the Odyssey,
the Ridgeline. Yep.
So it is a very popular motor that they use. Let's say they don't have to replace engines. Let's say they only have to replace connecting rods. That's still, for the service managers, they're already planning their family vacations to the Maldives, because that's how much money these type of issues bring into service departments. In the early 2000s, when they had transmission issues at Honda and Acura, our service department was setting records month after month. They loved it. It was just a money maker for service departments. So it's as bad as it is for the consumers that own these vehicles, and it's bad for them. There's no way around it. Yep. It is a cash cow to the dealerships, and some folks will choose to just trade in the vehicle and get a new one, and still the dealership gets to repair the old one. So it can be a win-win for both parts, service, and sales. But it is scary to see those type of issues with two major Japanese brands that have been recognized for their engineering and their dependability and reliability.
Yeah, and again, for those of you that are joining us late, the big news this morning, there's an investigation that's been opened by the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration covering 2016 to 2020 model year Acura MDX, 2018 to 2020 Acura TLX, 2016 to 2020 Honda Pilot, 2017 to 2019 Honda Ridgeline, and 2018 to 2020 Honda Odyssey vehicles, totaling 1.4 million vehicles as a result of engine issues, engine failures
Yes,
that have been reported.
potential engine failures.
There was, to be clear, a recall last year that pertained to Honda engines. And so this is an extension of that in many ways and a broadening of scope of that in many ways. So Honda, obviously, under investigation. Toyota, we know, in the throes of starting to replace engines for the Toyota Tundras and the Lexus LX. Now let's come here to the chat from Baron. Thank you, Baron. We appreciate it.
Baron.
If Toyota and Honda were smart, they'd hand out vouchers for simple warranty and maintenance work to allow for the engine swaps. Good relations. I'm not sure I understand that.
Me neither. Because
they're gonna do that.
They're paying for it anyway.
Engines. Yeah. Let's be clear. The consumer pays nothing in a recall situation. All they pay is their time, which is obviously a huge nuisance. But the consumer doesn't pay anything. It's just the OEM, the manufacturer, in this case, Automotive News, saying that it's going to take $300 to $500 million from Toyota to be able to replace this. We obviously think more. Dad, does this influence buying a new Toyota or Honda vehicle, or does this further the conversation you and I have had in the past about newer vehicles having more quality control issues? Or do you think this is just randomness? It happens in automotive production. This is kind of normal.
But these are for the Honda Acura engines. These are older vehicles. These are prior to COVID. Yeah. So we know that there have been issues since then, but this is well before that. So no, I just listen. Both of these brands have tremendous reputations, and both of these brands are taking some type of hit to their current reputations. Will it prevent people from saying, gee, I want to get another Honda or I want to get another Toyota? I doubt it, because everybody else seems to be having issues as well. But it is a stain. Let's just say that. It's a stain that could drive some folks away. Perhaps it drives some additional folks to Mazda, but Mazda on their, what is it, CX-70 and CX-90
have
had recalls. So everybody seems to be having some issues or another at the moment.
Yeah.
There is no year that we go through where there aren't recalls. It's part and parcel of everything. It's the severity of the recalls. It's the severity of the issue that causes the recall. How many millions of cars had recalls because of the Takata airbags? Okay. That was like every car built.
Yeah.
So, but for Toyota to have to replace 102,000 engines, that's a big deal. For NHTSA to open an investigation into 1.4 million Honda and Acura engines, that's a big deal. Now, the fact that there's been 173 documented cases where there has been failure out of 1.4 million, I think that's a rather small percentage, but it's a big enough percentage to warrant the investigation.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Dad, earlier we pulled up Baron's comment, and thank you, Baron, for the kind contribution. No appointments for normal work, long wait for that. I think Baron was saying hand out vouchers to go to independent shops. Take your vehicle to an independent shop. Now, the tricky thing is, obviously, if Toyota's the one paying for it, they don't want to be paying for it 2 and 3 times over because it went to an independent shop that couldn't do the work. But yeah, it's gonna go to their dealers, and it's in part going to go to their dealers because it is that partnership between the dealer and the OEM. And the dealer's going to be making money hand over fist. Dad, I want to direct everyone back on CarEdge.com under research. We have our car rankings. Okay, if you have not explored this page, we rank vehicles based on if they're a popular model or a luxury vehicle, and best and worst. And you can see here, we've got things broken out in terms of value. And so this also includes things like reliability, recalls, all that fun stuff. And Toyota and Honda are at the top of the list most of the time. So it is a bit shocking here to be in the situation that we're in, where they're the ones in the headlines. And then you may even mention Mazda. Like Mazda, we haven't spent a lot of time on it, but Mazda did have some pretty serious recalls themselves. So these are brands that are not necessarily going to catch up to Ford and Stellantis on the Mount Rushmore of most recalls. We should check, actually. I'll pull that up right now. Who's winning the race for the most recalls in 2024? But the
coming down to the wire, buddy. There's only 6 weeks left to overtake whoever the leader is.
All right. And who do you think's the leader right now?
I still believe it's Ford.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah. Ford right there is the red section of our pie chart with 58 recalls so far this year. Chrysler FCA has 57. And Forest River, for those of you that are in the market for a recreational vehicle, please know that Forest River has a hell of a lot of recalls. BMW down there with 31, GM with 28, Mercedes-Benz with 24, Hyundai at 21.
The scary thing is Ford only has a 1 recall lead, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting late in the fourth quarter. Can Stellantis kick a field goal to overtake them at the end? We shall see. Keep your eyes peeled to the NHTSA website. We'll have to track this weekly, buddy.
We really will. But Dad, actually, it is fairly alarming that General Motors, another domestic automaker, has 28. Ford has 30 more, double the amount of recalls as General Motors. And again, that's not the point of today's show. The point of today's show is, holy cow, you've got Honda. Where's Honda on this list? Nissan with 17 recalls, Kia with 17, Jaguar with 17, Jayco with 18, Daimler 20. Honda's not even in the top list here, Dad. Honda and Toyota aren't in the top list here. So
they don't have nearly as many recalls.
Exactly. The severity though of their recalls is,
But you know what's really scary? I believe when you look at General Motors and you compare them to Ford, they produce more vehicles in total than Ford does. And they have 30 recalls less. So for those of you who remember the slogan at Ford, quality is job none. More living. Oh, wait, that was quality is job one. I'm sorry. There is more living proof that it really is quality is job none. You produce fewer vehicles than your competitors, yet you lead the league in recalls every year. And
to be clear, it hasn't been every year in perpetuity, but it's been every year for the past few years.
Yes. Well, like everyone, you have to have goals. They've set some goals that are obtainable, and one of them is to lead the league in recalls, and they do it consistently. Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts. Before we turn to our next story, Dad, I want to remind everyone as well, back on CarEdge.com, we have our car search, which I encourage everyone to use. We obviously have all the free research tools, but under Buy a Car here, we have a car buying service. This is for new and used vehicles, buying or leasing. If you want our team's help, aka we do it all for you, please, folks, just go to CarEdge.com/concierge or CarEdge.com and then click on car buying service to learn more. And on this page, you will be able to, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see recent deals that we've been able to secure for our community members. And then, of course, you can click on see more deals right there, and that'll take you to our verified prices page where you can actually sort and filter by all the various criteria that your heart could ever want. Check it out back on CarEdge.com. Dad, story.
One question. When did Seymour join the staff?
Yeah. You used that line yesterday. All right.
Well, apparently I'm going to use that line every day. Because I like that line.
I like that line for you too, Dad. We're going to jump over here to automotive news. Asbury Automotive, one of the large, big, publicly traded dealer groups, encouraged by Stellantis incentives after tough Q3. The reason I pulled this up, Dad, is because some of the data in here is really compelling and really interesting. So, folks,
I thought so too. Yes.
During the third quarter, Asbury's Stellantis new vehicle volume fell 30%, and gross profit on Stellantis models declined by more than 53%. All right. This is if you are in the market for a Ram pickup truck, a Jeep vehicle, a Chrysler vehicle, a Dodge vehicle, how do we communicate how much leverage you have, Dad? This dealer group biggest one of the biggest Stellantis
One of the
dealers,
biggest ones, yeah.
literally saw their profits on the sale of Stellantis vehicles go down by 50+%. You have leverage, baby. Use that leverage. Like, there's never been a better time to be in the market for a CDJR vehicle because they have so much oversupply.
Yeah, but the only problem with that leverage is you end up with a Stellantis product in your driveway.
There are people who want that, Dad, and for those people, we should not miscommunicate here. We have an obligation to make it very clear. These dealers are losing money hand over fist. Look, guys, I'll go down further in the article, and it talks about what's going on at Jeep. It says right here, it might also, by November ahead of schedule, achieve a goal of shrinking inventory from more than 430,000 vehicles in June to 330,000 vehicles by end of year. Stellantis also cut prices 4 to 6% on the 2025 Jeep Compass, Gladiator, and Grand Cherokee, the company told investors in a quarterly presentation. This automaker, Dad, and this dealer group, they are desperate. So again, not everyone wants a Stellantis product in their driveway, but if you do not walk in there and just accept the online advertised price. Do not just walk in there and pay MSRP. There is desperation in the air, man.
Did you also notice in that article where they said we think we have too many eggs in the Stellantis basket? That they kind of wish that their dealership makeup was slightly different than what it is.
This is the dealer group literally saying we have too many Stellantis dealerships. We wish we had others. What more signage do you need? You know, we get flamed on all the time. The car market's not exploding. Things. No, it is. For Stellantis, it is. It has. It will be. It's continuing to. What more proof point do you need? So go use that as leverage when you have a conversation.
You have to pull up the article again, because you have to love the headline of the article. Scroll up to the top. You have to love this. Asbury encouraged by Stellantis incentives. Encouraged. And that encouragement is, damn, we wish we had fewer of those stores because they're costing us money.
But get your car buying toolkit for a Ram, for a Dodge, for a Jeep, for a Chrysler back on CarEdge.com, folks, and go negotiate a hell of a deal, or use the verified deals tool to see what other people are paying. $10,000 off is not unrealistic. So if you like winning,
yes,
which, you know,
well, if you like winning and losing all at the same time, because you can win on the price point, but you lose because it is that Stellantis product that is only one recall behind Ford. So yes.
Yeah. We're gonna get you in a big 1,500 pickup truck next year and see if you're a fan or not. Shall we jump to the chat here, Dad, and help?
If it's carrying my casket to the cemetery, I'm sure I'll be a big fan. Otherwise, I don't want to be in one.
All right, we got to get Pops at his funeral in a Ram 3500 heavy duty for you, Pops.
Well, I am a tad bit overweight, but not that much, buddy. Come on, man.
Dad, coming here from K Trauma Junkie 69. Thank you for the kind contribution. Used your concierge service and took delivery of my new 2024 GMC Sierra on Sunday. Very easy process and $9,000 savings off sticker.
Nicely done. Congratulations. And great work by the team.
Wow. Again, CarEdge.com/concierge. That is so awesome to hear. And thank you for, having such a good experience that you came back to the live show and donated to tell us that. I'm humbled and very appreciative.
Paying him.
Yeah, we should be paying you, but thank you. That's very, very kind. From Luis, thank you, Luis. We appreciate the kind contribution. What's the best option for a 3-row SUV as far as reliability? Your opinion on the Traverse and Pilot. How much should I target under MSRP? The zip code, we're in Arizona, Dad. We have back on the car rankings page SUVs, but these are not 3-row SUVs. I just went to check it out. This is like the Toyota RAV4, Honda HR-V, Toyota CHR, so smaller SUVs. Well, we should definitely redo this. Or add to this. We should add to this full-size SUVs.
If you're asking me just from Jump Street, I would say the Pilot over the Traverse.
Yeah.
And if it's a new one, hopefully you're not going to be having any of the engine issues that they were having in the older ones.
And Dad, I just came over here to the verified deals page while you were saying that, and I typed in new 2025 Honda Pilot. And again, Luis, and for our entire community, just go to research and click on see what others paid. I then went over here, did Honda Pilot, And you can see here, $2,500 off of the dealer price, $6,100 off of the dealer price, $4,000 off. So you can see here what the savings are. And these are on 2025. So I haven't even toggled, to 2024. So Luis, I think this will give you some good, foundation.
So it appears to me it's somewhere close to 10% off, 8 to 10% off of MSRP.
And of course, with CarEdge Insights back on the CarEdge Car Search, you can get that information as well. I got a lot of people in the chat, or at least a few people that talking about the Mazda CX-90 as well. I think the Mazda CX-90 is a great option.
Yes.
A great option too. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. CX-90.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Pilot engine was rough on test drive. All right, look at the CX-90. I think the Mazda CX-90 is a great option for 3 rows. I really, really do.
Yes. I concur.
You ready for our favorite segment of the show?
Really? You've got to be kidding me.
Jaguar stopped selling new cars in the United Kingdom ahead of EV only ship. This is one way,
yes,
to be like the dinosaurs and go extinct, doesn't it?
It appears as if it appears as if they bought into, oh my goodness, we have to go all electric sooner rather than later, more so than some others have, and could ultimately end to the demise of a long-held British brand that, if I'm not mistaken, is owned by Tata, the largest Indian automotive company. So maybe its English roots aren't quite what they used to be, but still, it was a brand that was sought after, not because they were considered to be such fine automobiles, but they were luxury automobiles, and people were willing to pay for the luxury of driving a Jaguar. And the story always went, if you wanted to be able to drive a Jaguar every day, you needed to have at least 2, because you knew one of the 2 was going to have electrical issues. So, I mean, it's just, check it out, buddy. You're young. Check it out. And you'll find that it's true. And so here's a company that's always been known for electrical issues and wiring issues, okay, that is completely pulling out of internal combustion engine vehicles and going to an battery electric vehicle with a history of having electrical issues. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, just think about that for a second. You plug it into your charger at home, and I don't know, your home blows up. I don't know, but what could possibly go? Well, something was wired wrong. What could I wish them luck.
I wish them luck too, man. Again, like I said, maybe trying to go the way of the dinosaurs. It certainly seems that way. All right, Dad, one more time for those of you at home, check it out, caredge.com. If you know anyone who's in the market to buy a car, if we can help out, please give us the chance to go for it, Dad.
I'm in the market.
I think I'm in the market too. I've been thinking about it recently, Dad.
Yes.
I think I'm going to get a car relatively soon. I might do it here before the end of the year. So stay tuned.
Well, that would be the best time.
I know, dude. I'm trying to take our own advice. If I buy a car, I'm definitely going to document it, memorialize it, post it over on the main CarEdge channel. But I am seriously, for the first time in a long time, seriously considering getting a car. Yeah, we'll see.
Let me ask you this silly question. Just between you and me, I'm spitballing here. But if you document it, you memorialize it, you use it for YouTube videos for the company.
Yeah.
Does that mean the company's buying the car?
I have to have a conversation with our board of directors, but I would like for the company to buy the car. Yeah.
I mean, if it's going to become material for our channel.
Yeah, I kind of want the company to pay for it. Yeah, but I don't know. I got to talk to the board. I don't know. I hope so, right?
Well, they could put restrictions on how you use it if it's a company car. I don't know. I'm sure we have some friends that can help you with whatever it is
I don't want friends. I want to do it. I want to use our tools, and I want to document it, and I want to do it. You guys watched me, right? We've emailed 100 Ford dealers.
Yes.
We've emailed 100 Toyota dealers. I need to do another one soon. Actually, let me know in the chat which dealers and which vehicle should I email 100 of next. for that series. I need some input there. But no, I'm not going to get any friends to help. I'm not going to use our concierge service. I'm going to try and do it myself.
Okay.
Document it, use our tools. So yeah, but I would love if the company pays for it instead of me. That would be great. Yeah.
You know, it's going to be documented on YouTube.
On what?
On YouTube. On YouTube.
The way you said that was very funny.
It's going to be well documented on YouTube and on CarEdge.
And I'll use the car to drive around the dealerships to get footage and whatnot. That's actually one of the things that's what's driving me.
Oh my goodness gracious! It sounds like the company needs to. This is a business expense. The company needs to buy it. And if the company owns it, then they need to find a place to park it in the DC area. So maybe that's, and maybe they'll even have to pay for the fuel. I don't know.
Hey, so one other thing, work and unrelated to CarEdge, but I'll ask the community. I booked my flights yesterday, Dad. So I'm not going to be at Thanksgiving. I still have to call cousin Christy and let her know. So I'm not going to be at Thanksgiving this year for the first time ever. And instead, I'm going to Bishop, California, and Las Vegas to go climbing. So if anyone has any recommendations on specific routes or climbs in Vegas or in Bishop, California, I'm all ears. Zach at CarEdge.com. I'm super excited. I'm going with a very experienced group. So I'm just tagging along. But yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Well, I have to ask the question, where the hell is Bishop, California?
It's in the Sierra Nevada mountains, or like right near the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Okay, that's
Northern California.
I was going to say it's a pretty big range.
Northern California, near Reno, Dad. Like maybe 3 hours from Reno.
Oh my goodness! Couldn't it be a little snowy?
Could be, yeah. But you get more friction. You get more friction when it's colder.
You get more friction when it's snowing?
No, but when it's colder.
We've talked about many different things today, but wouldn't you get slippage when it's snowing?
Yeah, no slippage, no premature, anything, no probing. No, we're good.
And then where in Vegas?
You remember when we were in Vegas, Dad? And
I do, which is why I want to move back.
the state park that's right there, Red Rock. There's a ton of Red Rock. Yeah.
Doesn't that, just between me and you, and your experienced friends, doesn't it seem a safer bet, especially going to a city with gambling? Doesn't it seem to be a safer bet to do it in the Las Vegas area as opposed to further north, where you could have snowage with slippage?
We'll be okay. Anyway, the question is to the community. If anyone does that type of stuff, if you've got advice or suggested climbs and routes, I'm all ears. Dad, let's call it a show. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Mountain time, and 12 p.m. Eastern time for more CarEdge live. Thank you, Dad. Really grateful for our show today.
May I say one other thing? For those of you who can't get enough of me, and I don't know how there could be one person out there that would feel that way, but if you do, please join us, Brandon and I, on Car Sense at 1:30 this afternoon. We will be going live and chatting for somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours, or however long my battery lasts. And at my age, batteries don't last quite as long as they used to.
Yeah, is that a thing? Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
Keep
buddy.
them charged.
Yeah, love you, honey.
See you guys.